Well, it's a wet and soggy Tuesday, like soggy cornflakes here in Sydney today, and good morning and welcome to episode 86. I'm Barry Fair. Thanks for joining Cass and I in the studio again for another program, and today we're going to be talking about the iconic favourites Kellogg's cornflakes and Arnott's biscuits. Now we usually would do a recap of last week's program, but we're not going to do that this week. It's straight into it. And Cass, it's so lovely to be doing our program once again for a Tuesday morning. How are you feeling? Are you pumped up?
Absolutely, Barry. Tuesday is my favourite day of the week, and I can't wait to talk with you and our viewers about our upcoming videos.
Well, just before we get on to today's show, just reminding you drivers out there to please take it easy on the road. Listen for road closures and fallen trees and stuff like that, and don't drive too fast on the road. So if you are in a 40k school zone, guys, please stick to the limit. Here's my upsider for her opening sequence on this. Good morning.
Good morning, Barry. Great advice for all of our drivers out there, especially in the weather, how wet and cold it is. Make sure you stick to the speed limit and have some extra distance between you and the car in front.
And put your lights on as well too, and your windscreen wipers. And another thing, don't drive if visibility is dismal or woeful, whatever you want to call it. So if the roads are too dangerous to drive on, please don't drive. So that's the opening advice we'd like to give you here on our show this morning. And now here is today's show. Let's go. Thanks for joining us around this fantastic country. Around from Sydney, Brisbane, Darwin, Perth, Hobart, Victoria, you name it. We bring the show to you, and this show is proudly hosted by me, Barry Fair, your compere, and Cass here. And this is a Barry Fair production. And on we go, we're talking about our favourite breakfast, Kellogg's cornflakes, the second most iconic food. And here we go, let us take you back in time to where cornflakes were originated. Let's go. Cornflakes. Now, who can resist them? They're so good in a bowl with ice cold milk, or drenched in ice cold milk, I should say. And Dr. Kellogg, back in 1906, developed this breakfast cereal, I think, but let's read you a bit of this history about this cereal that Kellogg's made. Here's my outsider now to take up the commentary. on we go with the history of cornflakes. Now, who loves some cornflakes here? Let us know down below here. Now, here's my offsider now to take up the opening sequence.
Okay, so created by Dr. William Kellogg in 1894, cornflakes is a breakfast cereal made by toasting flakes of corn. This cereal was originally made with wheat, created by William Kellogg in 1894 for his brother John. John wanted a food that would be healthy for the patients of the Battle Creek Sanitarium in Michigan when he was a superintendent. The breakfast cereal proved popular among the patients, but Will wanted to add sugar to increase the popularity. John did not approve of this, so Will started his own company, the Kellogg Company, to produce cornflakes for the wider public. A patent for the process was granted in 1896 after a legal battle between the two brothers.
Oh dear.
With cornflakes becoming popular in the wider community, a previous patient at the sanitarium started to make rival products. Kellogg continued to experiment and various ingredients were added and different grains were used. In 1928, he started to manufacture Rice Krispies, another successful breakfast cereal. There are many generic brands of cornflakes produced by various manufacturers. As well as being used as breakfast cereal, the crushed flakes can be a substitute for breadcrumbs in recipes. One of the recipes I love to use crushed cornflakes for is chicken schnitzel.
Right, so if you've ever heard, if you don't have any breadcrumbs, guys, crush up some cornflakes.
Absolutely, Barry. It gives it a golden, crispy crunch on the outside of your delicious, moist, warm chicken. Another thing, Barry, that you may have had as a child was something called Honey Joys.
Well, Honey Joys captured another recipe. Now, you simply melt some butter and honey in a saucepan, okay, and add some cornflakes and then spoon your mixture into patty cake tins, and then I think you put in the fridge until they are set. I may be wrong, but I'm not sure whether you put them straight in the fridge or just eat them.
You have to let them set for a little bit, so I think room temperature is the best option for the setting. Well, that's what I found anyway.
So, the Kellogg's factory is in Botany near Mascot. Now, Kellogg's make a wide range of cereals, okay, such as all brand rice bubbles, cornflakes, Sultana brand, Kellogg's Complete if you've had it, Kellogg's Pop Tarts, I hope they're still out on the market today, and also they make mini wheats. Now, if you ever had mini wheats, let us know down below here.
Barry, what's a mini wheat?
Well, mini wheats are a kilo of wheat and they have a filling in the middle.
Okay. Sounds delicious.
And if you've ever had Pop-Tarts as a child, because I'm sure you can pick them up at your supermarket when you go shopping next time. So, Sultana brand, like you've heard the jingle. You've heard the jingle. Don't mention it's healthy, and they'll eat it by the boxful. That was the Sultana brand jingle. Now, also, Kellogg's make special cake, and just right, which you can still buy in the supermarket as well. So you can buy cornflakes and another cereal. Excuse me. Another cereal you can buy is Fruit Loops. Now, did you ever grow up with those?
So Barry, I was only allowed to have Fruit Loops when I visited my grandma's house, and that was our special breakfast treat when we stayed over there. I loved going to her house because I got the delicious sugary Fruit Loops. Loved them.
And another jingle, another slogan was Kellogg's, the best of you each morning. So I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of history about Kellogg's. So what the staff did at the Kellogg's factory was they mixed up all the ingredients and put it into bags and then cardboard boxes ready to be distributed to supermarkets all over Australia. Here's my outsider.
Wow, Barry, you know a lot about this. A man of many facts.
So if you've ever watched being inside a factory where they make our favorite food, unfortunately you can't do that now due to WHS reasons. So why don't you jump on the Kellogg's website and find out where your cereal came from and how it was invented. It will be very interesting reading for you and your family. And before we go on to the next topic, which is Arnott's Biscuits, another trip back in time, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And Cass, what would you have for breakfast to start the day?
My go-to breakfast normally, Barry, is a coffee and some yogurt and muesli.
Very good. So another jingle commercial for Kellogg's was just right, not too heavy and not too light. So don't go away. We've got another trip down memory lane for you coming up straight after the break. You're watching episode 86 of this program called The Daily Wraps, and we've got plenty more coming up. So don't go away, another trip down memory lane coming up. Welcome back to our Tuesday morning episode of the Daily Wraps, episode 86. Another trip down for you viewers down memory lane now. In 1865, William Arnott started his first factory in Hunter Street, Newcastle, and for many generations, Arnott's has been no substitute for quantity. or quantity. Now, in 1906, the Sayo biscuit was introduced. Now, the Sayo biscuit is made of layers and layers of pastry until it is crisp. And if you remember the jingle "You Can't Beat a Sayo" from 1987, okay, I'm sure you remember that jingle. So look up that commercial sometime. So another biscuit that Arnott's make is the ice bobo, TVs, shapes, mint slice, and Tim Tams, and of course the tiny teddies. So your favorite biscuits come in a range of multi-packs too. So you can pack them into the kids' lunch boxes. Here's my upsider.
Wow, Barry, I love Arnott's biscuits. The one thing I love about them is that they do a variety of both sweet and savoury.
Now, I have a packet of shapes in my lunchbox today. But there are many flavors of shapes you can have, like chicken, crimpy, pizza, barbecue, you name it, it's all there. Here's my upsider.
Delicious. My favourite biscuit would have to be the chicken crimpy. Absolutely. But another one of my favourite biscuits would be the milk arrowroot biscuit, especially with a cup of coffee and dunking it in.
Now, who can remember the Scotch finger biscuits? Can you remember that?
Absolutely, Barry.
When you need a break, then, for goodness sake, break a finger, Arnott's Scotch finger biscuits. And do you remember the family of sorted biscuits like your cream biscuits, your Monte Carlos, and of course the Kingston. Can you remember the Kingston biscuits?
Absolutely, Barry. They're one of my favourites.
Now, who loves to dunk a biscuit in a cup of tea or coffee at morning tea? Let us know down below here. So, from 1865 until now, Arnott's Biscuits today is still going strong, and with many other varieties of biscuits, and with the Sayos you can make a slice as well, like the custard slice. Simply make a custard, pour it over some Sayo biscuits, put it in the fridge, and let it set, and then put a passion fruit icing over. Here's my upsider.
Oh, Barry, that sounds delicious. I'm going to have to try that one.
So what you do, don't put away your Sayo biscuits. Make it into a slice, guys. I'm telling you, you will love it. Here's my upsider.
I'm going to have to try that one, Barry, after we're finished filming. Why don't you give me the recipe?
And we can look it up.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, coming up after the break, I've got a little bit of television history for you on a program that was done at the White Beach and Palm Beach. So another step back in time and a trip down memory lane once again here on the show, because that's what our theme is all about this week. You are watching episode 86. This is Barry, Pear and Cash. Stay with us. We'll have more in a moment.